Do you know what OPM is? Other people's money. It's one of the greatest ways to build and create wealth because you're utilizing and investing other people's money and not your own. But that really can help create wealth. But do you know what OPT is? You don't know what OPT is? OPT can stop you dead in your tracks. It's called other people's thinking. And what I want to do is I want to go over the 5 laws quickly of other people's thinking today, because when people struggle, when people have resistance, when people do not get the results they want, I ask one question: who are you listening to? And the reason why is because most people that struggle, most people that are not getting the results in life or in business they want, most people that are having conditions, circumstances that for whatever reason they don't think they can get through, it's other people's thinking, and it's creating that wall. And there's 5 laws that I want you to get real quick, because this other people's thinking can kill your success, can destroy your business, and annihilate any future movement. And that's why that most people don't teach OPT. We do here in YouTube. We do this in this channel. We teach OPT all the time because other people's thinking is poisonous often. Number 1, other people's thinking becomes your ceiling when you stop questioning it. My mentor taught me this. Other people's thinking becomes your ceiling when you stop questioning it. Most people never, I guess, increase or grow in their life and in their business or anything else because other people's thinking keeps them at a place where they have inherited from their mother, or father, they've inherited from their grandparents, great-grandparents. It's called generational thinking. And what happens is that generational thinking becomes a ceiling, a cap that you no longer can go past, which costs you time, costs you profits, costs you money, costs you success. Or who are you listening to? That's one of the most important person in your life that you listen to. Are they associates? Are they business associates? Are they people that have succeeded dramatically, or are they just broke? This is why that other people's thinking that becomes your ceiling, it's your fault. Now, you may not have been aware of it, but when we're young, we get taught this is how you think. From the ages of like 2 to 6 years old, this is how you think, and you adopt the thinking patterns that have been in your family, your generational thinking, if you will, forever, seems like. Do not do that, because instead of investigating the thinking and seeing if it's really true and is it the right type of thinking, they just accept it. You don't want to do that. And the reason for that is because, in my most humble opinion, it's not the fact that you have a ceiling on your thinking. It's the fact that you haven't addressed it, investigated it, looked into it, and said, is there better thinking? Number 2, you absorb the beliefs of the people that you spend the most time around, your associates. It's an environment, and we all have a tendency to adapt to that or adapt to that environment of thinking when you're around people. And that's why I tell people, when you're in an environment of business, when you're in an environment of people, when you're in an environment of relationship, when you're in an environment just around friends, be careful that that environment doesn't diminish your thinking. It happens so much because people, for whatever reason, they not only diminish your thinking, but they don't want you to get ahead of them. When you absorb the thinking, the beliefs, the mindset, the attitudes of the people around you, that's the opposite of what should be happening. 7-figure people, 8-figure people, 9-figure people, 10-figure people, they force the crowd to absorb their beliefs, their thinking, their mindset. And if for whatever reason they do not do that and aren't open to doing that, that's okay. They don't accept a lesser mindset, a lesser thinking, a lesser belief, or anything close to that. So the next time you're around in an environment and somebody starts talking negative and all this, woe is me and blah, 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 this is what you say. You know something? Let's talk about something let's do something about this. And they say, well, what could we do? There's lots of things we can do. We can do 1, we can do 2, we can do 3. Leave them out of that pity party and don't absorb their beliefs and thinking. Let them start absorbing yours. So number 1, other people's thinking becomes your ceiling when you don't question it. Number 2, when you're around people, you absorb the beliefs, the mindset, the thinking generally of that environment. Number 3, borrowed fears feel real, even when they're not yours. Did you get that? Borrowed fears, ones that you absorb from other people, they really do seem real, but they're not yours. And this is why that you've got to be careful about who you're listening to, what you're doing, because the more that you pick up on fear in an environment, the more that you start looking like they may know something I don't know. Folks, there's no reason to fear. When people have a fear of an environment, they're deaf. You must become deaf as well. What does deaf stand for? DEAF, do not even acknowledge their fear. Did you get that? Become DEAF. They're deaf to what you say, but you've got to become deaf to what they believe and what those feelings are. Don't even acknowledge their fear. You have to be positive. You have to be powerful. And I'm sorry that you think that way, but I can't think that way. I won't allow myself to. Don't borrow somebody else's fear, because it's not going to work in your favor. If somebody else has faith, if somebody else has a power, if somebody else has a let's go courage and confidence, adopt that, adapt that, hold on to that. But anything less, let it go. Number 4, you can't build a powerful life using someone else's weakness. Did you get that? You can't build a powerful life, business, relationships, income, profits, or anything close to that utilizing and agreeing with someone else's weakness. This is why naysayers exist. This is why naysayers are so effective, because people who you might respect, or people that you have emotions like you love or whatever, they tell you you can't do something. Well, according to who? And this is why that you can't build a powerful life using someone else's weakness in their thinking, using someone else's weakness in their belief, using someone else's weakness in their inaction, using someone else's weakness in what they believe is possible. Do not go there. OPT is destructive if you're not careful. Their opinions that they have, the opinions of weakness, the input of weakness, the radiation of weakness, the radiance from their presence wasn't designed for your destiny. Did you get that? Their weakness wasn't designed for your destiny. The only thing that matters is your future and destiny of power, of courage, of confidence, and a 7, 8, 9-figure life. And this is why, again, OPT, other people's thinking, it does not work in your favor most of the time. So number 1, other people's thinking becomes your ceiling when you stop questioning it. Number 2, you absorb the beliefs of the people that you're around and you must spend the most time with. And that is so true. That's why I have a very, very careful about that. Borrowed fears. Number 3, borrowed fears feel real when they're not yours. Do not embrace their fears, folks. Number 4, you can't build a powerful life using someone else's weakness. That was not designed for your destiny. And number 5, freedom, total freedom. Independence Day begins when you start saying, I'm thinking for myself. I've investigated a lot of different things. I don't agree with it. They don't connect with where I'm going. And so I'm sorry you feel that way, but you may want to listen to what I have to say, because it could help you. When your decisions come from an upgraded self-image, everything changes. Other people's thinking, OPT will try to tear your self-image down, but when you decide I'm listening to only my thinking and people that have been and are where I'm going, it becomes a game changer, guys. OPM, people have talked about for years. Other people's money, that's what you do to invest in a lot of different things. OPT, though, is the exact opposite. Where OPM can build your success, OPT can destroy your success. Other people's thinking. These are the 5 laws of OPT, and I would encourage you not only to listen to them, but embrace them and utilize them and apply them in your life. Guys, we're doing something special here. I'm teaching things that nobody else teaches. And what I want you to do is understand I've coached hundreds of people, and most of them today are multimillionaires. It's him. It's not me. Trust me. But one of the things that can happen and will happen to you if you continue to listen and watch these videos is going to get inside you. And once it gets inside you, you'll notice this change almost immediately. Like, follow, share, subscribe, and do yourself a favor. Get your Fire Journal. Join the Fire family. We got a lot of stuff we're bringing out over the next few months. Stay tuned, because it's exciting and it will ignite your life. Spread the fire.